what a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Paul Hall, 10th Man, Chocolate Sayin, and Arwin in G+, together with a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Morning. Hello, hello, hello.
Good afternoon, hello. Good to have you all. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as Earth curvature?
Only in the math.
That would be a no.
Any evidence
Oh,
of...
you mean in real life? Or just in the math?
On the really is level? We want to see a physical, actual geometric
It really
sphere
is.
edge.
No, definitely not.
No? Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
No. Stationary.
On the really is level?
See question 1.
Right. There's no acceleration going on. There is no centripetal force detected. Earth is stationary.
So why is it said that we have it?
People think they live on a spinning, flying water ball in a vacuum, Neil. Didn't you know?
I thought they had some sort of proof to assert all these things.
Just their
Star Trek.
belief. Just their belief in being on a spinning, flying water ball in a vacuum, Neil. It sounds like a shock to you, Neil. You've been here a while, mate. This isn't a shock.
No, but I mean, come on, they have to have something. They didn't just make it up. They had to have some kind of proof.
Yeah, they did. They just made it up.
Literally what they did.
That's exactly what they did. Shock and awe
It is
over.
shock.
Can we move on? Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
What's the sun again?
That orangey, yellowy light in the sky comes daily.
Oh, okay. That's as technical as you can get that. Okay. Then no.
Any scientific evidence of the reification fallacy known as gravity?
No, not.
It's all
What's
relative
gravity
density.
Gravity, good question.
Yeah.
I'm standing in my
Reification
room and I'm
fallacy.
not moving.
Say again, Neil?
I'm standing in my room and I'm not moving.
Good for you. Any single viable hypothesis? Go on, Paul.
Sorry, go ahead. I'd say according to physics, though, the road is accelerating up towards me. But it only does that when I'm on it. When I'm not on it, it's not accelerating. But when I'm standing on it, it's accelerating towards me. Net force 0. So just so everyone knows. To make sure we're clear.
I thought it was mass attracts mass, right?
No, gravity's not a force.
No, I know, but based on what Paul is saying, in their jargon, are they saying that if you're not on the road, there's no mass to attract, so it's not accelerating?
Well, it only accelerates towards you because you got to have net force 0. So it only accelerates towards you when you're standing on it or when something's applied to it. So it's but when there's nothing on the road or on the floor or on the table, it's not accelerating, so there's no force. But only when there's a force applied is there another force. You know what I mean? So it's convoluted, it seems like to me.
Well, how'd you get on the road?
I got in my car and drove on the road, basically.
So your car has more mass than the road? So you brought the road to you? Is that what they're saying?
No.
Well, yeah, kind of.
As soon as I,
kind of, in their rhetoric. Sorry to interrupt you, Paul. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, at one reference frame, the road can be accelerating up toward you. Of course, Jessie decides to say her 2 cents. But another reference frame, it's not accelerating towards you. It's just sitting still. So it depends on the reference frame too. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's got to work out in the math though. So as long as the math you can derive it from the math, I think you're good, right?
I think you mean to say what's mass, 10th man?
Yeah, as we delve into it, it gets more convoluted. As it's when I was growing up, it was the Newtonian. It was mass attracts mass. I always said, when I'm next to a person that's bigger than me, why am I not being pulled towards that person? I mean, or anything to that effect of an analogy. So it was nonsense then, and it sounds like it's still nonsense now.
I mean, in one respect, I could make a joke and say, so what, back in the 1800s?
Yeah, when I was growing up.
When you were growing up. But by the same token, they still teach it today, so it's not exactly a stretch, right? Until you get beyond... Yeah, seriously, once you get to about degree level, then you start moving past the Cavendish nonsense.
Yeah, that was an interesting show we had that one time when Anthony and you and others brought that up. It's one set of stories and pseudo-facts for this group, and then when you get here, it's a whole different set of stories and pseudo-facts for that group.
Right, it's a shame Adam's not here. It's him that regaled us with that process and how, you go from doing the Cavendish for them saying, yeah, well, a load of old nonsense, just openly admitting it's rubbish to the students. And you're like, that's a weird transition to have to go through, but it was interesting hearing it described by Adam. Talking about him. Go on.
Yeah, but isn't that what we get when Anthony came on and played the clip from Verlander, who said, we need to get on the rooftops and shout, gravity's not a force. So now it's more open.
I mean, it's only taken 105 years, right?
Yeah.
One
Speaking
of the
of
definitions
Cavendish, has John D done any more or posted any more about his Cavendish experiment? This probably hasn't moved in days.
Yeah, he's been keeping everyone updated in, I think he's been doing it in Master B.
So it still hasn't moved in days. Is that kind of where we're at? It's still sitting there, not moving.
Right. It's just, I think it's done now. I think he's compiling it. He'll get hopefully somebody with a nice voice to narrate it. Typically he gets Karen B. Excellent choice because she's got a really good voice for narration. So hopefully he'll talk Karen B into doing a narrated version of it, and he'll just present his information, not an experiment.
If not, I could do like a rap version of it.
I did get to compliment you on that. I mean, it's obviously not produced particularly well. No offense to Adam, the visuals are great, but other than that. But what I did notice in your song "Chocolate Bars" was that you're very good. You've got very good timing. You're a good rapper, as in if you had a decent mic and you weren't like massively forward in the mix, it would have actually been really, really good. I'm not just saying that. I'm being critical because you're good, as opposed to just being critical to be a dick. Do you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate
Wait a second,
that.
Chocolate has a rap?
I just did it with a little shitty karaoke app on my phone.
Well, it started out
That's what I did.
because it's a flat Earth song. Technically, your low expectations sort of immediately kick in, and you're like, oh, I'll pay it some attention. But then before I knew it, I was like, this is actually good. He's hitting the rhythm. He's good. He's not actually bad at all. And then I'm like, because he's good, now I'm going to start getting critical of the quality that it's produced at, because it's good and I want it to sound better. So hence my slightly weird.
But you know what it is though, because when I recorded it, I for some reason the app that I used, it made my voice louder than the music. I couldn't get the music to sound a little bit louder, so mine was louder than the music. So then when Adam took it, I guess he relayed the track on it, and then he made the music a little bit too loud, so it kind of drowns me out in the video version. But I mean, I'm still appreciative of it because I didn't expect him to do that. Even though I kind of knew he would, knowing Adam. But yeah, it was cool. So I appreciate that, Nathan.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm working on the
Worthy of a
second one
mention.
now.
Worthy of kudos. So, everyone's got some hidden talents, and there's not a great deal of, good musical types within the flat Earth community. There's a lot of people who think they are, and I know I'm going to get crap in the comments for saying this, but that's just the way it is.
I'm with Nathan on this one, by the way. I thought the song was excellent, but yeah, the first thing I said too was like the recording quality. It's like, yeah, you got so much more. It's just been scratched out shitty quality.
Well, I've got a better app to use. Sorry, Nathan.
It wasn't me, it was Neil.
Right, you just need a good recording studio, buddy.
Go on, Neil.
I said you always needed George Martin. The Beatles were great, but it was George Martin that polished them up and made the sound even better.
Right. No, but Chocolate, a recording studio is not just about a good mic. It's also about a good studio with, conditions like Nathan has been working on. Remember, with his wall.
Right, my walls.
Project. Yeah. That's was one of the elements that really makes a good recording studio because it just smoothens out the sound on the spot.
Anyway, I think we've dwelled on this enough. Very well done, Chocolate. Kudos.
Thank you, sir.
Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
Any word from Dr. Becky?
We haven't mentioned Dr. Becky in a while.
10th man, you gave up?
Nothing to mention.
Over to 10th man, our Dr. Becky,
Nothing
or
to
just
mention.
Becky correspondent.
Book signing tour is the last thing I saw, and still nothing to mention. No cowbell there.
She has a book?
Yeah.
The smart ones would leave us well alone. Steer well clear. Because we're like, I don't know, I can't think of an analogy off the top of my head, but we might look relatively harmless from a distance. But this is not, we don't want to get into these weeds with us because we're sharks or crocodiles or whatever analogy you want. But yeah, it might look quite calm and pleasant over in this direction in this particular pond. But if they were sensible, they'd just steer so well clear. The pseudo-scientists, I'm talking about the Dr. Beckys and the Thunderfoots and all these style people, because they've got far more to lose.
So we're kind of like hippos in the Nile. Looks really cute. But if you get too close, you're going to be mangled.
Yeah, it'll rip your head off. Exactly. Yeah, hippos isn't a bad analogy. They look fairly placid. Look at those hippos. They're just chilling out. Should we go and have a closer look? Yeah, and then your tour guide points out that they're probably the most dangerous animal there.
Nathan the hippo. Definitely.
Hypocrite.
As a hypocrite. As it's on screen, any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No, question one took care of that one too.
X the hippos.
That's why.
E waves and
That's
S waves, right?
In the song, I said it's a rap for your molten iron core. Nobody even argues that nonsense anymore.
Well, Arwin's showing how he can do precisely that. He's been learning from yesterday's show. Do you want to repeat that, Arwin?
P waves and S waves.
Perfect.
I don't know what they are, by the way.
Perfect. Do you want to give him a pat on the back, Paul? Nearly called you Pete then. Paul. No,
Oh, I missed that. Were you talking to me? Talking to somebody else?
Yeah, he took your advice. He just said P waves and S waves. Didn't give any clarity. Didn't give any justification. Didn't explain how they proved anything of anything. He just said, quote, P waves and S waves, and then shut up. Perfect, Darwin.
You're welcome.
Moving on. What have we got left? Any evidence you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container?
At number 2.
Yeah, it's one of those little things that in their entire model is completely ignored. They conceptualize in their minds how gravity's supposed to take care of that, but they never really modeled it. They never actually made a real simulation of this. And when they did, they kind of muffle it away and you don't hear about it because those simulations don't last very long.
Arwen, that didn't last that long. Your P wave and S waves, now gravity, without explaining gravity or defending if it's actually real or not. You're doing the same thing they're doing.
No, I'm explaining what they're doing. And the P waves and S waves are already conceded. I don't even know what that is. I just
perfect. That's even better, Arwen. That's perfect. That's even better. Just throw it out there. Don't even have to understand what it is.
So
I
what are
understood
they
what
exactly?
Owen was saying.
I'll give you. Do you want the? There's a particular mechanism just for Arwen's benefit. Sorry, everyone else. So if you were the Globo making that argument, right, and you've said your P waves and S waves bit, then you've shut up, and someone comes up with a challenge. They mention the super deep borehole and explain how they didn't get it right, etc., etc. What you do as a rebuttal to that, and this is basically faultless. You can't get around this. I don't know if you want to get a pen. You say, ready? Owen, you paying attention? This is important. Yeah. Right, you say, you don't understand.
Nah, I'm not that much of a baller. No, I will say
don't knock it till you've tried it.
Explain it to me.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
No.
I've never heard a baller say that.
Just try it.
Well, maybe from a legal perspective.
Just try it.
I could say.
Let's go through it, right? Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? Specifically Arwen. Any evidence?
You don't understand.
No. Oh, you play it in the right order. Oh, this is all falling to pieces. Any evidence of the R value? Earth radius?
Black Swan.
Black Swan. That's it. That concludes housekeeping.
We need a good Black Swan honk sample.
Any viable hypothesis?
Had that question.
Did we do
Talked
that?
about Dr. Becky.
Okay. Got it.
Is Dr. Becky now going to be the synonymous pseudoscientist with that question? Is that how it's going to play out from now on then?
Any astrophysicist will do.
That's true. Calling
One
all
of the meanings
astrophysicists.
of pseudo was intentionally deceived. Don't they know that?
Say being pseudo is intentionally deceitful. Is that what you just said?
That's one of the meanings when you look it up. Intentionally deceive.
It depends contextually. If you're punting something that isn't science as something that is science, that automatically defines it as pseudoscience. But in that process, there's only one of two choices that you can sort of lay at that person. One is stupidity, they just didn't realise, or fraud, they're making money from it. So it's one or the other, outright deception or just downright stupidity. So you've got to kind of pick which one, and you can't divine their motivations, right? So unless they tell you, well, actually, I thought Cavendish was an experiment. All right, well, you're just thick then. Yeah? So you got to kind of have some interaction with them to establish this, because you can't divine their thoughts and motivations like they do with their crystal balls.
Can you break down how Cavendish is not an experiment again?
No observed phenomena. What are they studying? In any experimental procedure, the first thing you're going to do is have a phenomena to study. So what are they studying? Well, the answer that they will give you is the balls. The balls. The twisting of the torsion bar as the balls are attracted to each other. Well, where's that happening in nature? Well, it's happening in the Cavendish experiment. So it doesn't happen in nature. Mass does not attract mass in nature. You don't observe it anywhere ever. It does not happen. Now, their get around would say, well, I'm going to beg the question that Earth's a sphere with gravity, and you're being attracted to that Earth sphere. So that's how they try and get around that. They just beg the question, of course. But the experiment, why isn't it an experiment? Because there's no observed phenomena to study. And then when you get to them formulating a hypothesis, their hypothesis has the cause and effect the same. If mass, then mass attracts mass. That's their hypothesis, based on a dependent variable that's been observed at step 3 before step 1 could happen. So they're observing the phenomena within the experiment. Well, no, you do the experiment to figure out the cause of the effect that you observed in nature. So it's an absolute clusterfuck of an experiment. Excuse my language, it's with live shit. It feels like after show, doesn't it? We've had a laugh today. Sorry to any children listening.
I shared the story. I'm sorry, go ahead, Chocolate.
I was just apologising to the wee children that might have heard my F word.
I'm
My kids
for you,
crack
Nathan.
up when I hear.
Go ahead, Chocolate.
What happened? What did I say?
Okay, go ahead, Chocolate. You were going to say something, and I butted in on you.
What the hell? Somebody else was talking to me. No, what I was gonna say is that I hate when, or I find it funny when people say, "Oh, Cavendish proves gravity." It's like, didn't you already presume or presuppose that gravity is already a thing in order to measure the density of the Earth? Didn't he even have like a little equation in there or a formula for gravity? What was it? 150 millionth? Like, so how does that prove gravity when you already presuppose that it's in there? I don't get that.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Like I just said, it's just a begging the question fallacy. Like everything they do ever, and every assertion ever, it'll just assume the outcome they're trying to prove, and then give you a little smoke and mirrors magic show in the form of these balls and torsion bars. But they've automatically just assumed they've got it, right? And that's what you're asking. Well, what's with all the smoke and mirrors then, if you're just assuming it's true?
Right.
Nathan, do you remember the time I shared the story of a neighbor of mine wanting to start a well for his property, and I got 2 welding rods, and I was taught this by my neighbor who owned 100 acres across the street from me. And when you go over any water, the welding rods turn into each other, the magnetism and so forth. So Cavendish, what they're trying to do there, look how the welding rods, or back in the day, a certain type of wood that they held in their hands would always react if there was water underneath the ground and you stood over it. Now, would they call that gravity? I mean, does a well digging company say gravity found the water, or is there something else going on there? Well, obviously, we know something else is going on there, because you could do it over an area of your property and it doesn't move at all. And then right when you get over water, it moves. So there's this relationship between the magnetism and the welding rod and the hickory stick, or whatever they used to use. And here's Cavendish, but you don't see that in nature, do you? But you do see a tree out alone somewhere growing and no water, except it's underneath the ground, right?
No, I don't remember that story.
Well, I just said it again, so you'll remember it now. You'll remember it now. But here's a real thing that someone could do, because when I found that spot, I said, I think you ought to dig here. I said, put in your hands, go 20 yards away and start walking. And he did, and he came right over that spot, and the rods just bent, just like someone came and bent them. He says, wow, I felt that. He dug there, he got a 105 gallon per minute well. But what does that prove? It doesn't prove gravity.
Okay, no one was claiming that it did, but fair enough. It's an interesting story.
No, but they would. But that whole torsion bar and mass attract mass, right? Now this thing is attracted. It's affected by water underneath the ground. So where's this mass attract mass? It should work the same way is what I'm saying. It should work just like the way the welding rods work. Something's attracting it to move. All right, well, then let's see if mass attracts mass. Well, you can't do that. Mass doesn't attract mass. We never see it.
Fair enough. You got there in the end.
Does the divining actually work?
Yes, they do work.
Is it being proven?
I just told you, 105 gallon per minute.
Yeah, but
I can walk
in
over my
fairness,
property
that
with
doesn't
it
prove it,
everywhere.
does
I
it?
know there's a water pipe. It turns.
Mm.
You must have missed that whole part where you were telling him how you used it.
I guess
That-
so.
That would be proving it. Yes, I mean,
That
like,
proves
what the
it, does
hell?
it, Chocolate? You can tell me.
There are so many videos on YouTube with people demonstrating what I just said. Just go watch a few.
Yeah, but there's millions of videos demonstrating the Earth's round. You don't believe them, do you?
Is there? Where
I
are they
knew
taken from?
This nonsense was
I'm
coming.
so glad you
hold
said
on.
that.
Hold on. Practical
Millions
application.
of videos of the Earth round.
Where are those
Hang
videos?
on, let Nathan start
Who
it.
have I got?
I'm
Who
so
have I
glad
got?
he said it, but I think Nathan knows what's going on here. So go on.
Well, anybody else who's itching to ask the same exact question I am, feel free.
Well, you gave it in your answer.
come on.
Practical application.
give me the question.
Where are the pictures taken from? The ones that claim to show the Earth to be round or spherical?
I don't know. I didn't mention any specific ones.
There's loads of them. Any of the ones that you were generalizing.
Actually, you
about.
did. You said the ones that show it round. Where do we see
Spherical.
those?
That's what I heard.
I'm just saying, you see them online, don't you?
Yeah, where are they taken from?
On Tinterweb.
Where are they taken from?
I'm assuming like shuttles and space stations and things
Oh,
like
space stations.
Ah, there we go.
that.
Space.
Weather balloons,
Space,
all
you
that
say?
kind of thing.
Space. Correct?
What?
The one
What you're
showing it
saying,
being a
Nathan, you
sphere
broke
would
up
be
there.
taken from space, right?
From the sky vacuum, yeah.
From the sky vacuum. Definitely not. The sky is definitely not a vacuum because all the gas we're breathing would fill it. So automatically all of those
you're
pictures.
You're a bit too
Oh, check
early
him
there.
out. Triggered, talking over my conclusion. What a shock. Go on, get it all out. Then we'll pummel your religion of a sky vacuum. Feel free, get it all out.
There your pan.
Get what out?
I got a question.
My
Hey,
laughter.
upright.
All of the interruptions that you're about to do while I was making my conclusion that I'm still yet to make.
No, I was just saying you're a bit too early there, Nathan. For my,
I
I
made my
didn't expect
conclusion.
you to buy it that early.
That's it, get it all out. Let me know when you're done. Then I'll make my conclusion that destroys the sky vacuum.
I'm done.
So, the sky being a vacuum, this region where these pictures are being claimed to be taken from, isn't real. Because if it was, we'd all be dead. Because the gas we're breathing, high pressure gas, expands in all directions to fill the availability of volume it has. And if the sky's a vacuum, it's just an available volume for the gas to fill. And fill it must, by way of entropy. That's what gas does. The fact that it isn't doing that means the sky isn't a vacuum. And ipso facto, all pictures that are taken from that claim to be sky vacuum are automatically fake. So no, your belief that we have all these pictures on Tinternet, no mate. All taken from a fake place like Narnia. Definitely not proving anything because the place they claim to be taken from isn't real.
Well,
You got a super
surely
chat,
you could
Nathan, that
apply
applies
that
to
to
this
these
question.
divining rods as well. The divining rods turning and reacting to water, that's not real either.
Other than
That
you
was the
can
point I was
practically
making.
show something happening. So you're not going to get to practically go to the sky vacuum in the same way you're not going to get to go through the wardrobe. But you can definitely taste the sweet, sweet water coming out that well.
Wow, so you're trying to
That's a
compare
silly
the
argument,
technique
Nathan,
people
and you know
actually use
Hold on.
to find
Hold on,
water
Chocolate. Hold on.
to a magical spinning water ball in a vacuum with pictures taken from a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. That's what you're trying to do right now.
I missed half.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's what he's
Chocolate.
doing.
Nathan
That's
was
what he's
talking
doing,
over you.
Chocolate. Nathan, you got a super chat.
I know.
on the subject.
I'll wait. It will wait. I'm sorry for the people who give money right in the middle of a hot
Nathan's getting
discussion.
a bit excited now.
that takes priority when they're like this, talking through me and stuff. But I will shout it out. I promise.
Yeah.
I haven't not noticed.
All right,
Sweet
upright.
water.
Chocolate. Do you want to repeat? Hold on, 10th. Hold on. Do you want to repeat your last statement, 10th?
What the? I can't remember. I asked you.
No, not you.
Super
Chocolate.
chat. The one before that.
Shut up.
10th. Not you. Chocolate.
No, I was asking, dude. So you're taking a technique that 10th Man just told you is practically used to find water, right? And you're equating that with pictures of a Earth as a spinning water ball taken from a second law of thermodynamics violation. That's what you're trying to do right now. I don't understand it.
10th Man said, I asked 10th Man, is it proven? And he went, well, we see footage of it. And then I said, well, we see footage of the Earth being round. So I think you're being a bit dishonest.
But even before he said that,
what I said.
If he did say that, he said how he actually was using it. Were you listening when he was speaking?
So if you talk to an astronaut, do you automatically believe it? Because he's been up into space.
What I said. Stop upright.
Well, I'm sorry, your arguments are really flawed.
Hold on.
For people who love their fallacies and their logical fallacies and using it against people, you don't half use them yourself. You know what I mean? Come on, guys.
Using any logical fallacies. We're just trying to address what you've just said, but you won't shut up now. So there's no astronauts here, but there is somebody who's done this with rods, and coincidentally, Mario knows it's flat. Sends a super chat saying the rods do work. I use them to locate utilities at times. There you go. So there's a few. Okay, well, you might laugh. There's no astronauts here to challenge.
I meant to be on mute there. Sorry, Nathan. I laughed. I meant to be on mute.
Okay, no worries.
You're laughing at yourself and your assertion that the Earth is a ball because you saw pictures taken from a second law of thermodynamics violation? Is that why you're laughing? Because other than that, you sound ridiculous, to be honest.
So, like the Eiffel Tower's there, I can go there. If I ever get enough money, I can go there and validate it. But I can never go on a spaceship and go into space.
Well, you can get a weather balloon. Weather balloons aren't expensive.
It's kind of weird.
Hold on. So what about
every time I've seen high altitude weather balloon footage, it looks like a completely flat horizon. Nathan. That's funny.
One at a time. Go on, Neil, or whoever it was in Discord.
I said I've never been to France to see the Eiffel Tower. I've seen pictures.
It's not worth it, mate. Don't go.
Vacuum. Hold on, Neil. You're interrupting everybody now. Just try not to interrupt.
Sorry,
me
Nathan.
right now. Last chance. We're having a reasonable conversation that you're interrupting everybody every time they talk. I'm going to give you one last chance not to do it. Undoubtedly, you'll start talking before the end of this sentence. Please don't do it again. I'm going to have to remove you. We're having a reasonably tolerable conversation, other than you making it unlistenable for the audience. You specifically, Vacuum. Thank you. Go ahead, Neil.
Sorry, Nathan.
Neil.
Things that I have not been to, that I've seen pictures of, but I can go there and validate them. What you're talking about, none of us can go there and validate.
You can send a weather balloon up, though, can't you?
Okay, can we get this back to the misappropriating statement that Upright said about what I said? So, Upright, listen, I've done this. I saw a guy who taught me.
Show a bit of respect, please, 10th man. I don't call you devil's advocate, do I?
I'm calling you by what you said was okay.
No, I didn't. I said a cyclone upright. If you're going to be technical about it.
Okay, cyclone upright. I'm sorry, I left out the first name.
That'll do. Devils.
Perfect. Cyclone upright. I've done this. I told you I've done this. I found it for my neighbor. My other neighbor taught me how to do it. I've had people on my property from the utilities companies talking to me about it. They've done it. I have a cloud of witnesses. You showed doubt in it. That's when I said, well, you can just go on YouTube and see people doing it. There's lots of videos. They actually show you how to do it, and they actually show the rod bending. You took that, changed the argument, and said just because there's YouTube videos doesn't make it true. I wasn't basing it on YouTube videos. I was basing it on me doing it and giving you an access to where you can verify some of these things by multitudes of other people. And Mario, who sent a super chat, just verified it. So it's up to you if you want to learn something. But don't misuse my words again, please.
That wouldn't stand up in here if it was
he just
used in a
saw it.
globe argument. My neighbour did it. I did it. Come on, devils. That doesn't work here, does it?
All right, you think if you were in a courtroom and the judge asked you for your personal testimony and you described doing something yourself, and then you brought on your neighbour who also did the exact same thing and they described them doing it themselves, you don't think that would stand up? What are you babbling about?
No.
Yeah, it would.
Why don't you ask Anthony Riley? He'd tell you.
Sorry, Anthony Riley's not here. Why are we going around in circles, right? What you've done is you've appealed to something that you cannot do and a place that you cannot visit, a place that does not exist because it violates natural law, and tried to juxtapose that with somebody physically doing something that plenty of other people do. I've even had somebody willing to give money to say, I do this also. Now, not only that, we've got a guy on the panel who's done it, but you don't think that's acceptable standards. But you can appeal to a third party taking part in an activity in a place that can't possibly exist because it violates natural law, and the pictures they take when in a region that can't exist. It's nowhere near comparable.
It's snake oil. That's what it is, isn't it?
What? The notion of having a sky vacuum where they take pictures from? Yeah, that's snake oil, lies, yeah.
Well, so you're just backing up my comparison then, Nathan, aren't you? Come on.
What? Comparison between something physical and actual that someone on the panel has actually done versus a place that you cannot travel to, you've never been, no one on the panel's ever been, and you can't go because it does not exist based on its violation of natural law. You think that's what? Me backing your argument now? No, I think you're just a clown that doesn't really realise when he's having his ass handed to him and chooses to speak through everybody that's pummeling him when that's happening.
I can't believe you don't get what I'm saying, the comparison.
Oh, I don't understand! See, Owen? Universally used by complete morons when they don't have a rebuttal. Not only that, he's extended it, man. This guy's a genius. Extended it to, he can't fathom why I can't understand, right? It's called the second law of thermodynamics. It's a natural law. It's applicable always. Inviolable. The gas would fill the space. Ergo, the gas we're breathing would fill that space if it existed. Therefore, it can't possibly exist. We'd all be dead. But given that we'd all be dead if the place they claim to take these pictures from existed, I'm going to say it doesn't exist because I'm not dead. Therefore, the sky is not a vacuum, the place they claim to take the pictures from. Very different to somebody actually doing something here on terra firma with a couple of rods.
Yeah, but doing snake oil, Nathan. Come on.
Snake oil is selling something that isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Now, by description of 10th Man, he's done something and found water, and that was the purpose of what he did. So it has absolutely achieved its ends, and there's other testimony that apparently you can go to. I don't know about it, this first I've heard. But apparently there's plenty of other testimony you could seek out beyond the first-hand experience of a panel member. You could seek this testimony out. Now, that's personal experience from individuals giving their personal testimony about an experience of using this equipment to find water, according to the first-hand testimony on the panel. Now, your appeal is to a fucking astronaut that's... Sorry, I've got to stop swearing. Your appeal is to an astronaut who is not here and is claiming to work in a place that doesn't exist. They are definitely not comparable.
You're going from testimony in one circumstance, which is divining rods, which is ridiculous. But then you insist on scientific method for everything else, Nathan. Come on, you're a hypocrite. I
haven't insisted on anything. The guy's got a well. I'm being told about a guy that's got a well and the means that we use to find it.
Hey, God, I got to jump in here. Okay, listen, I'm going to give you a play-by-play. The neighbor who taught me, he grew up with his father who dug wells for the farms around him. He learned it from his father. He taught me, and then I, who knew that my neighbor, who just bought some property, 7 acres, was needing a well. So I said, hey, I got taught this. Let's try it. So I was trying it for the first time. So I went to that original neighbor who taught me. I said, do you have those welding rods that you were talking about? He said, yeah, here. So he came on the property. So he was there. I was on the property, and the owner was on the property. And he said, this is how you do it. Just walk around and you'll see it. It'll just, when it's over water, you'll see it move on its own. So I walked the 7 acres at different parts. I said, where's your house going to be? How far do you want your well tank from your house? Let's kind of work within this parameter first. So it's not a long haul for your water, to your house. And sure enough, I'm walking, nothing's happening. A little bit here, nothing. And then bang, it's just like someone pulled it. I said, whoa. I backed up, started from another angle. Same thing over that same spot. We took our foot, we dragged an X on the ground, on the dirt to mark it. And then I came from 4 different angles. It just kept doing it. I gave it to the new owner. He'd never done it before. And he walked, and the same thing happened to him. I gave it to the guy who taught me, and he did it. He says, yeah, I concur. This is where the water is. The well drilling company came and said, where do you want your well? And as the owner of the property shared the story with me, he said, well, we did the divining rods here. The well guy did it, and he says, yeah, there's water here for sure. 105 gallons per minute is the result of that.
Sorry, did you just say the?
Okay.
Sorry, did you say the well guy did the same thing?
Yeah, the well guys always do it.
So the well guys use this method.
Can I just say something? It could be the most true thing on earth, but why isn't Nathan asking for scientific method to prove it from you devils?
Because nobody claimed there was scientific evidence of anything. Are you out of your mind, dude?
God.
You are all very This is exactly the point I'm making. Why is there this standard for one thing and no standard for these stories that Devils comes up with?
Right, what are you babbling about? This isn't open to scientific inquiry. He's not observing phenomena that's natural. What's he observing? He's walking around with a couple of rods. That's not a natural phenomenon, mate.
Gosh.
I think what he gets confused on is that there's an assertion that there's scientific evidence for this magical spinning water ball that he thinks he lives on, and that because that assertion is made, then we must adhere to scientific method for everything in the world, right? You're the ones who claim that you have scientific evidence for your globe. That's why we ask you guys, where's your scientific evidence? Do you get that?
Precisely. Did you
Vacuum,
understand that?
you keep interrupting people.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't have to.
Sorry, Neil.
He won't listen to what Chocolate said. We'll have to get it repeated because he talked through it and therefore wasn't listening to it.
I did listen to it.
Okay, repeat back verbatim what he just said.
No.
So we understand that you understood what he said.
Repeat back verbatim. Where did you learn to debate, Nathan?
Well, you said you understood. You were really, really insistent that you did listen. I know you didn't because you talked through him.
The chocolate question.
Yeah, what was he asking you?
He didn't ask a question. He was divining my thoughts.
There we are.
Oh, there's that silence.
So, no, you're not giving a response. So I've got to get Chocolate to repeat it, haven't I? Because you haven't got a vaguest clue what's going on. So Chocolate, can you repeat it?
I think I've won this.
Undoubtedly, when I speak to Chocolate by name, this dick will start talking, and he did. Chocolate. That means not dick, not you. Chocolate. Can you repeat what you've just said so we can hopefully not talk through it and respond to it?
What I said was, this guy apparently thinks that everything needs to be run through scientific method, asking why we're not asking for scientific validation by what 10th Man said. But nobody claimed that this was science. You might have missed that part.
Is there a question there, Nathan?
Yeah, why are you asking us for science when no one's claimed it? That's what's being asked or pointed out to you.
No, I don't think there was a question. You're divining a question now, aren't you, Nathan?
No, I'm asking a question. Do you want the question repeated? Did you not understand it? Are you slow? Do you want it repeated? It's a question.
No, I do understand the question, but you're changing the goalposts, aren't you?
You're not answering the question. Why have you asked for scientific validity when none was being claimed? Simple.
Why am I asking? No, I'm not asking for scientific validity.
You called us devils and then demanded that we ask for the same standard that you morons who think you're on a globe claim every time you claim anything ever. And you've asked us to justify that standard that we're not imposing. And now while I'm explaining it to you, you're talking through me. So you're talking through me now. You're talking through me, aren't you? Shut up. We're explaining how stupid you are. That means shut up and tolerate being told off. Okay?
I've apologised. Go ahead.
I don't need an apology. I haven't explained why you're stupid yet. You've talked through it though, haven't you? So from this point forward, I need you to sit down, shut up, and have it explained to you how stupid it is to ask somebody who's not claiming science for their science when none is being claimed.
I didn't ask for it.
And you're still talking. Too stupid to realise he's getting told off for his stupidity. Nobody claimed science, stupid idiot, like you morons continually do with your scientific vernacular that isn't applicable. So you on the globe side claim science where you don't have any. We're not claiming science, but you're demanding it, making you a retard. Comprende?
Is that the
and
question?
making us not hypocrites.
You are asking for science, vacuum.
Nobody's claiming science here.
Science. I just
Nobody's
asked
claiming
why
science.
you're not asking for science with Devil's Advocate story.
Well, obviously you don't understand
Practically
science.
asking
Just
you,
being that
he's
you asked
practically
that
asking
question,
you, Nathan, why you
don't
do
even
not
get it.
put shoe in the scientific method?
It's not a phenomena.
You. Why you
It's
do
not a
not
phenomena.
put shoe in the...
Not a phenomenon. Concrete noun.
What's not a phenomenon?
A shoe. Or, in this example, a man-made device. Not a phenomenon. Not natural. Not worthy of science. Not open to scientific inquiry. Not worthy of you talking through me.
Well?
Just shut up. You dicks.
Said a hickory stick as well.
You dicks, when you're getting told off, think like belligerent children. It's your time to rant and throw a little tantrum. No. Understand that we're explaining to a moron who doesn't understand where science is applicable, why science is not applicable to this man-made device that's being used, because it's not a naturally observed phenomenon. So it's not open to scientific inquiry, and nobody claimed it was. But yet you're saying devils, and why aren't we holding the same standard? Because it's not open to scientific inquiry. If you knew what science was, which you don't because you're thick, you wouldn't be asking that question, but you are because you're stupid. Now, stupid moron globehead is getting told off. That's you being told off by me for your scientific illiteracy. So you don't understand what science is and therefore asking for validation of science when none is applicable. Moron. Shut up, moron. Learn what science is, moron. Earth is flat, moron. No globe, moron. No pictures from this sky vacuum, moron. Now sit down. Shut up. Know your place. In the stupid corner. You, globehead.
10th man said a hickory stick.
That means shut up.
A hickory
Are you
stick.
dense?
That's not man-made.
Are you dense? We've demonstrated your total stupidity. We've explained your stupidity.
Hickory
And
stick.
now we're demanding, not asking, not requesting, telling your dumbass to sit down and know your place. I've explained where that place is too. The stupid corner with the other scientific illiterate retards on your side of the argument. That's the globe side. Sit down with the other retards that don't understand what science is and say, why aren't you putting this through science when there's no phenomena? That's you, retard. I don't need a reply. I need you to sit down with the other stupid people that don't know what science is. Now, no response is required. You sitting your ass down and understanding how stupid you are is.
A hickory branch isn't man-made.
It's going to get silenced. Audience, understand that when a belligerent child doesn't understand that their stupidity is no longer required, even though it's been laboured 3 times, I am left with no choice but to forcibly shut them up. Yeah? You want to laugh at me, do you? Yeah, like a belligerent child, he's now laughing. Right?
I think it's been 35 minutes I've got this going for.
I thought you
That's
were
a
going
new
to shut
record.
up today. I thought you weren't going to talk.
Vacuum, with what argument?
Well,
No humility.
He said a
No
defining
humility.
word was
Still
man-made,
thinks he's
but
supposed
is
to
a
be on the
hickory
mic.
twig
The arrogance level, you stupid globehead retard.
Can you give some example?
Who's talking? Shut up, despite everything. Despite everything, shut up. No, Vacuum. For the audience's benefit, I have now muted this dick. Because despite the fact that he's had his stupidity pointed out, he still, with his arrogance and total lack of humility, feels after being told to shut up and sit in the stupid corner with the other retards, that he's still going to talk. That somehow he's perfectly within his rights to continually babbling his nonsense indefinitely. No, you stupid idiot. I'm going to be the one to tell you that it's not acceptable to spout complete nonsense and then spew like a diarrhea retard with verbal nonsense continually. That's not acceptable. Once you've demonstrated just how stupid you are, you can accept that you're then going to shut up and sit in the stupid corner, like you've been told by the flat earthers to do. Not just rebel and think that you've got the right to keep babbling your nonsense. No. You've demonstrated how stupid you are, Vacuum. You've demonstrated that you don't understand what science is. You've had 3 people take their time of day to explain it to you and then tell you to shut up afterwards. You're not thanking us. You're not acknowledging your errors. You're just babbling through us and causing a disruption. So no, that's not tolerable. You are the stupid one here. And we try our best to educate the disruptive, belligerent children that come here. But that's what we have to do. We have to eventually shut them up because they won't sit down after they've been stupid and sit with a little red face, recognising how stupid they are. No, what they'll do is they'll throw everything off the table and shout at the teacher. Right? You dumb fuck. It's no longer going to be tolerated here. You're just going to get talked down to. You're just going to get a verbal tongue lashing from me every time it happens. Don't expect to talk shit and then not expect verbal pain as a reward for your nonsense stupidity that you all assert. We are tired of it. We will tell you off. You won't just talk nonsense indefinitely. I'm done.
And he claimed he won.
The thing about a vacuum is, it sucks.
Thank you, Arby. That's true.
He said
Hey,
he
Nathan,
won.
I got some pictures on Master B on this subject if you want this. I mean, some are real old-time pictures of people actually doing this as well. It's just a technique that works. There was no science claimed.
Yeah, but he
Okay.
claimed he won.
They've got a black and white man with a divining rod.
But this has been going on for hundreds of years. I don't know what this guy's trying to prove here. All we're saying is that for some reason...
What he's trying to say is that because you're backing this and you're not claiming it that it's science, then this is not something that can be proven. And then he's asking, well, why aren't you claiming, why isn't Nathan asking for the scientific validation of this? Because 10th Man never said it was science, idiot.
I never claimed. Yeah,
like, what's wrong with you guys?
Why are you not asking for an independent variable?
Exactly. It's like, what are you talking about? We aren't claiming it's science, and nor would it ever fall within the realm of scientific inquiry. But yet, this dick, who doesn't understand what science is, demands that we hold ourselves to the same standards. It's like, no, we haven't got the gall to say, this is proven, his hypothesis would be found water. We're not using that terminology. We wouldn't dare.
He was only saying all of that just to call you a hypocrite, Nathan. All of that was just an ends to a mean to ad hom you.
Yeah,
Makes
that
no
was
sense.
Correct. Who's that? Whoever said that, spot on. Yes, I appreciate that. Correct, spot on. Do you want to repeat it?
Sure, it was Stagger Lee. I was just saying that it was an end around way just to ad hom Nathan and call him a hypocrite. It's like he was trying to work it out in his mind.
And use 10th Man to do it. That's the thing. Because he was using 10th Man's story that he never claimed was scientifically validated, even though it's actually validated by people that use it. He himself used it. Somebody in the chat uses it. I mean, come on. But he never claimed there was science. But this guy wants to be like, whoa, why aren't you asking for the science behind it? Nah. Because nobody said it was. You want to keep up?
I bet if you take him off mute, he'll say we're dividing.
God, I've got to do that now, Neil, to seem reasonable. You were spot on,
Hello.
Chocolate, when you explained that basically the reason we are detailing what science is and isn't is because the opponents, the globe claimers, say that they've got science when they haven't. They use scientific vernacular when they haven't got any to assert. We don't.
Was that your little team talk? You could gather yourself, put me on mute, gather your thoughts together, and now you've got an argument. You can unmute.
Bro, nobody even cares.
Well, it's not
what
going to
you're saying. You
work,
haven't said
Nathan.
anything
You
coherent
big
the
fucking
entire
prick.
time
I've
you've been
taken
here.
over your
What the
show.
hell are you talking about? You don't even know what science is, bro.
Muted because you wouldn't shut.
See if he addresses anything
Not
we've
so
said.
we can gather our thoughts.
No, we've addressed the issue of you not understanding what would be open to scientific inquiry. I doubt you'll address
This is the
anything, though.
vacuum. Is a trademark show now.
Yeah, shut up. So he's not going to address any of the actual nonsense that he put forth, or our rebuttal to any of the nonsense, or proving his stupidity and lack of scientific acumen. None of that's going to get addressed. It's, I'm taking over your show. Yeah, that's his rebuttal. Just stupid nonsense, like a little child standing on the desk going, I run the classroom now. That's what he's doing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
But 10th man's rods aren't science. Yeah.
Trademark show. What the hell is he talking about?
He's been laying in wait.
Talking about.
He's been laying in wait show after show just for this moment. And let me pun him right now. It didn't go well with you.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey, Nathan, let's shout out the show. It seems like somebody's put a bee in some people's bonnet here.
Yeah, 10th man.
Let's say again.
Yeah, 10th man has.
10th man has what?
Put a bee in people's bonnet.
About what?
Water.
About who?
Water.
Water? What the hell does water mean?
I don't know. Is this the malfunctioning QE plugin?
No, I'm talking about the show today against Jesse Kozlowski.
You're really off topic.
I'm sorry, I went off topic a little bit, but there's a QE live today where we're going to take Jesse Kozlowski for a ride. But I woke up just a couple minutes ago and some people got a bee in their bonnet over something they have no clue what they're talking about. Emma.
What are you
and
talking
Bev.
about?
Emma and Bev.
What the hell are you talking about, people?
Right, just because
What's the issue?
Before we get to the issue, can you plug the show properly?
I just woke up, man. Could you do it?
No worries. Be here or be sphere for Quantum Eraser Live on the Quantum Eraser YouTube channel, and that's 7 PM UK, 1 PM Central Standard. Is it 2 PM? 1 PM.
1 PM.
1 PM. 1 PM Central Standard on the Quantum Eraser YouTube channel. Be here or be sphere. That's tonight for all of you watching live. With that, I'm going to say, if you are watching live, then unfortunately this is where we bid you farewell. So a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Of course, a massive thank you to today's Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. If you are watching on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a day! What a lovely day!